hatred, racial hatred, and violence, or like pollution. And to refuse to plant a tree because the air is too polluted is backwards thinking.
Hey, TheGrio fam, it's Gerren Keith Gaynor, White House correspondent and managing editor of politics at TheGrio. And I'm here with Svante Myrick, who is the president and CEO of People for the American Way. Svante, welcome to TheGrio. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
So as we mark the 58th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March, also known as Bloody Sunday, how should we be reflecting on this historical event as it relates to where we are today?
Well, there's one big thing we have to acknowledge is that what those brave Americans were fighting for, were bleeding for, were marching for, was the right to have every vote counted. And unfortunately, many of the victories they've won have since been rolled back, most pointedly by the Supreme Court decision that just gutted the Voting Rights Act, which they were fighting for. So I think we have to memorialize, we even have to celebrate those heroes, but we have to recognize that they would be so disappointed in us if all we did was celebrate and memorialize. If we didn't pick up the torch and continue to fight, then we will have failed them.
And one of those heroes is John Lewis. His name is on the bill that is currently still in Congress and has been passed to restore voting rights. He and so many others nearly lost their lives marching for the right to vote and for racial equality. How can Black Americans and really all Americans honor his legacy in a way that lives up to the ideals that he nearly lost his life for?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to admit to ourselves that when John Lewis passed, both because of who he was, how much he sacrificed to guarantee the right to vote, but also because he was one of the youngest members of the civil rights movement, one of the youngest leaders in the civil rights movement. I think that there was a broad swath of the far right wing that was quietly, if not celebrating, they were plotting. They were thinking to themselves, okay, there he goes, there they go. They have no champions left. They have no defenders left. It is time to carry out the full-on assault that we've wanted to see, frankly, since the Civil War, which is to take away the right to vote for any people that we deem to be insufficiently American, right? People who are not white, people who are not men, and frankly, people who will not vote conservatively, then they really shouldn't have full access to the ballot. And it's not just hyperbole. It might sound hyperbolic, but there's no other way to explain the coordinated wave of 400 plus bills that have been introduced in state legislatures to roll back voting protections since John Lewis passed away, right? That coordinated attack only comes because they think nobody's watching. So if we want to live up to John Lewis's memory, we have to be the watchmen. We have to be the ones that beat back those bills in the state legislature and fight to pass more progressive legislation like the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which bears his name.
Now, I don't have to tell you the political reality with passing voting rights reform in this Congress is now divided. So many people often say that voting rights is dead in the water. And despite some of these restrictive laws that have been passed across the country, we've seen in some states like Georgia, where Black participation in the voting has actually increased. We've seen more Black people showing up at the polls despite the barriers before them. Should communities simply get used to the long-term strategy of out-organizing these restrictive laws?
Yeah, that is not a sustainable look. Short-term maximal effort voter turnout can get us through a cycle or two or three, but it will wear out voters, volunteers, and donors. I don't even know this, but Barack Obama in 2012, for a nationwide presidential race, the largest of its kind, spent $500 million. Raphael Warnock in Georgia just spent $480 million, right, for one state. This level of sustained effort to overcome set of rules that have been rigged is not what we should expect or demand, frankly, from communities that are already underinvested in. Our Senate owes it to the people, our Congress owes it to the people, and the President of the United States owes it to the people of this country to make voting easy, accessible, safe, convenient. And it's not going to pass this year, but we can make progress on it this year. And part of making progress means getting everybody on the record. President Biden, as a direct result of a lot of organizing by People for the American Way and other similar groups, came out on the record and said, yes, if you send this to my desk, I will sign it. And I will encourage the Senate to not require silly filibuster-proof majority, but instead 50+1 votes. Send that to my desk, I will sign it. That is a huge breakthrough. It creates not only an opportunity in 2024, but actually something to run on in 2024, a platform that should inspire and motivate voters.
And at the center of Bloody Sunday, it wasn't just about voting rights. It was also, we saw an act of hate on those demonstrators and police violence. And today we're seeing police violence still. We are seeing a rise of hate crimes in certain cities across the country. How can we combat what appears to be a rise of hate that still exists in America nearly 60 years later?
Yeah, it's a difficult challenge. I won't lie. I think a great many people in my generation, myself included, did not think we would still be having these fights. That progress had been won, and we were free to live as we would, free of fear, free of oppression, free from violence. The reality is proven different. And the hope that I find, the courage that I find, is in the words and writings of the leaders of the 50s and 60s, people like John Lewis, who recognized that the key to safety is itself the ballot box, that they may seem disconnected. The attempt to win the right to vote expose you to danger. They don't cure the danger. But the truth is, it's just like pollution. Hatred, racial hatred, and violence are like pollution. And to refuse to plant a tree because the air is too polluted is backwards thinking. The trees clean the air. In the same way, to refuse to fight for democracy because there's too much vitriol in our politics is backwards thinking. Democracy cleans the air. The more people that vote, the easier time to have voting, the less vicious and vitriolic our politics will become, and the more the people can demand the safety that we deserve.
When we look back on Bloody Sunday, it wasn't just Black people who were brutalized by police officers. There were white people from different religious backgrounds. Can you speak to how pivotal that was and the importance of allyship in the fight for racial equality?
Yeah. I mean, the truth is that majority of Americans want racial equality. They do. The minority only wins when the majority is fractured and divided. Frankly, in recent years, it has been far too easy to divide, say, the Black community and the Jewish community. Extremely potent alliance throughout the civil rights movement of the 60s. But on Bloody Sunday, what you saw were priests, Catholic priests in their collars, standing arm in arm with Baptist priests, Black folks, white folks, Jewish, all pulling in the same direction. And it is because of that intersectionality, of course, that they won. So we should take that lesson from Bloody Sunday too, as we form coalitions, making sure that our tent is wide enough, just wide enough to make us all a little bit uncomfortable. That means it's a tent that's wide enough to win.